Hey, my friend, fellow Everyday Cyclist. My name is Graeme Street, and I'm the host of the Everyday Cyclist podcast. And today I want to share with you something so beautiful, so simple, to help you understand that within 6 hours of training in a given week, I can help you improve your cycling performance at least 15%. Now, I know many of you might be thinking, well, 50% doesn't really sound like a lot. 50%, 80% sounds like a lot. Let's help you understand what 15% of potential growth in your cycling fitness, whether you're a beginner, intermediate, advanced, whether you're a century rider or a racer. Let's help you understand what a 15% gain in your cycling performance means to you. Let's say that you and I work together to figure out a really important factor of your cycling performance, your threshold or your zone 4 heart rate, your functional threshold power. You might have heard those terms many times before. It's important. That term helps us really understand how efficient you are as a cyclist. The higher the number, based on your weight, the more effective and faster and stronger you're going to be on the bike. It's just that simple. Now, let's say, just for hypothetical sake, that I helped you understand your zone 4 or tested you for it, and we found out that your average wattage for your zone 4 performance was about 250 watts. Not bad. Let's say that 250 watts garnered you at your weight about 18 miles per hour on average over a 20 to 40 mile course, somewhere in that ballpark. Not bad. Now let's say we wanted to improve that. And let's say that over a 6-hour time period in a given week of training and a 90-day cycle, we see a growth at least 15%. What would that mean at the end of that 90 days? Well, 250 watts plus 15% would give you about a 285 to 290 watt threshold. That's a pretty big jump. That's about 37 to 40 watt gain in your threshold performance. What does that mean to you? Well, all things being equal, if your weight stays the same, or even more importantly, if your weight went down because we're using a better training system to get you leaner and lighter, you would see a remarkable gain in your speed performance. You would see your average speed from 17 and 18 miles per hour go up to 19, 20, 21 miles per hour. You would see your climbing technique, power, go up significantly. If you went from 250 to 280 or 290 watts, you would be basically a born-again rider. Now, I know a lot of you might be thinking, well, this is all well and good for a racer or for a seasoned veteran or for a skinny weenie that, it weighs 140 pounds. No. In fact, the more non-cyclist body type you are, like myself, more of a brick on a bike, the more powerful this is, because if we can get an increase that substantial in your threshold performance power, now when you go out for your group rides, your centuries, hill climbs, your local races if you choose to do that, that 15% is the difference between it being in the middle or off the back and now being at the front pushing the pace and more than likely riding a lot of other riders off your wheel. Now, what amazes me after being a veteran in cycling for 26 years now, I've literally helped over 250,000 everyday cyclists from around the world with various tips, training programs, and whatnot. What has shocked me is the antiquated notion that everyday cyclists need to go out and be on the bike for hours on end, day after day, just like the pros are. Look, you're not a pro rider. And more than likely, you don't aspire to be a pro rider. You just want to be a better cyclist. And although the pros are on their bike maybe 4, 6, 8 hours a day, 6 days a week, that does not mean that that dogma of information lends itself well to us. Most everyday cyclists that are spending any amount of time on the bike are getting a very low rate of return on their results because they're doing the same repetitive thing over and over. Let me give you a scenario. Most everyday cyclists in my local group, and that I encounter globally, have a very specific set of patterns. I'll give you an example of what that might sound like. Well, Graeme, I do my group rides on Tuesdays. I always do that. It's a 25-mile, same loop every time. Wednesdays, I usually go to the gym and do some weight training or whatnot. I might do some core work. Thursdays, I go out for my longer ride. It's 2.5 hours. It's always been 2.5 hours. Friday, we've got our big throwdown ride in the morning. And then Saturday and Sunday, I tend to do my longer stuff. It's usually about 40 to 60 miles. And I've been doing that, the past year, the past 3 years, the past 8 years, the past decade, the past, 20 years. Sound familiar? Look, what happens is that a lot of us tend to piece together our training agenda based on things we hear from writing friends, quote unquote experts, people like myself, YouTube videos, magazines, magazine clippings, and we kind of create that frame of reference. And we create that snapshot of ourselves when we're feeling strong and lean and fit and riding well and say, well, hey, whatever got me here must be the formula that I should use every year ongoing to progress. And I won't lie to you. For a lot of you, initially, you're going to get some results with kind of more of a clunky-like method. But typically past the first, second, third, fourth year of doing that, many of you hit that dreaded cycling plateau where you just can't seem to budge your cycling power, fitness, technique any further, regardless of how much training time you do. I know people that double their training time from 8 hours per week up to 16 hours per week, and not only do they not see progress, they see a degradation in their fitness, and they're miserable and feeling low and depressed and weak and lethargic. And this is what I want to help you try to avoid. I want to help you understand that regardless of your current fitness, regardless of how long you've been riding a bike, regardless of whether you're an endurance rider or a high-end racer, there is a simple formula of balanced training that requires high-intensity sessions, short bursts of higher stimuli to force your body to adapt to new growth, combined with core and cycling-specific functional training that is not like traditional antiquated weight training at the gym. Yesterday's news. We want to make you functional on the bike. So you're not just going to have a great six-pack and leaner muscles. We want to get you on the bike so you can actually extract that strength into function and form. And then we want to combine that with a series of techniques and drills that can bring you from practicing those things to executing those things out on the road, out on your mountain bike, out on your triathlon bike, and actually garnering a performance improvement. Lots of people put in tons of training time on their trainer or out for longer, slower miles, but they don't garner performance improvement. So if you train 10 hours this week, but your threshold is the exact same as it was last week or last month or last year, really? You've wasted your time because you've only done basically going through the motions or the same old, same old. And the reason why so many of us, millions of us, kind of get stuck like that is we're usually afraid to stop what we're doing. Even if it's not working, we're petrified of stopping. What if I lose? That 10 years of fitness has taken me so long to get here. And although I'm not really happy here and I'm plateaued, heaven forbid I don't do that anymore. Because what would I do? I can't do less, Graeme. I can't make that big of a change. It's too scary. Well, I'm here to tell you, first of all, after 26 years of doing this personally, I get you. I feel you. You don't think for 1 second that I haven't been exactly in the same spot, like petrified. Oh my God, I don't want to lose this year's gains or this year's fitness. It's okay to feel like that. What I have learned, though, is that when you get in that moment, you're really given an opportunity to make dramatic changes. Changes that really can make a blossom on your body, a huge change that leads to a breakthrough. Like, wow, I used to really suck at the hills, and my friends would always leave me off the back on that hill, but this week, for whatever reason, not only was I towards the front, I was off the front, and I had my friends asking me, what the hell have you been doing? Isn't that how you want to feel? It's okay to admit it. It's okay to say, look, I want to go out for a group ride and I want to be the strong one at the front. No one wants to be in the middle or the back. And anyone that says that, hey, yeah, I like being dropped off the back, they're lying to you. And if you're saying that to yourself, you're lying to yourself. You're not fooling me, and I doubt you're fooling anybody else. What I want to help you do is accelerate that progression quicker and faster. And we can do it in a simplistic way, something that doesn't require oodles of equipment. It doesn't require 10, 20 hours of time per week. Look, I'm a parent of 3 young boys, 3 kids. I own my own company. I'm a global enterprise. I deal with customers every single day. If you think I have 6 hours of training time devoted to a Tuesday, you're wrong. I have maybe 30 to 60 minutes available to focus on something that actually gets me a result. So when I go out on my Saturday group ride, or I show up at my mountain bike, enduro for Sunday, or I go to a big event in August of next year, I show up strong, fit, and focused, as opposed to, well, I did all that time. I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning to go ride on my trainer for 2.5 hours, and I'm not stronger than I was last week, last month, last year. You following me? Now, what I want to offer you is an opportunity to use my most proven system I've ever developed in 10 years of professionally doing this globally for over 170 countries around the world and over 200,000 cyclists around the world. I've produced a program called Cyclo-90. And many of you have probably already heard about it either through the internet, through my Facebook pages, through my YouTube channel. I know a lot of you tend to watch me. Cyclo-90, to give simplest terms, it's kind of like P90X for cyclists. You ever heard of P90X or the Insanity program? Same type of thing, except my program is cycling specific. In fact, to be honest with you, I actually created Cyclo-90 and cyclo-core training before those programs came out. They went after general fitness, which is great. You can use P90X, something like that, and go get really strong and fit for ripping pecs and big bulging arms. That's not what I'm looking to do with Cyclo-90. What Cyclo-90 represents for you is an opportunity to build cycling-specific strength, function, power, recovery, all the things that don't just get you leaner and stronger. Again, I'm going to get you leaner and stronger, but what I want to do is get you leaner and stronger so when you get on that bike, you can kick some serious ass and have a lot more fun doing it. And I assume that that's probably what you want as well. My Cyclo-90 system is ridiculously simple. In fact, so much so that I've had competitors trying to copy what I've done because they're looking at it saying, man, it was right in front of us the whole time, and this guy has nailed it. I've combined my Cyclo-Hit 30-minute high-intensity trainer sessions, 30 minutes a pop, training with me, you and me, one-on-one. I'm going to walk you through the drills. I'm going to bike you through the intensity. As I bleed in sweat, you bleed in sweat. No longer will you be alone watching some meter on the TV hoping that you're doing it right. No, I'm going to put you through your paces. I'm going to make you hate me in the process, but while you're doing it, you're going to feel the growth coming instantly. I'm going to combine those 6 30-minute sessions with my very much famous now cyclo-core 2.0 workouts. These are my famous off-the-bike, cycling-specific core and functional workouts. These workouts are designed to make you a stronger cyclist. Again, the six-pack abs and the leaner pecs and the bigger legs and thigh muscles. Yes, for many of you, those will develop. Absolutely, it's like the bonus from becoming a stronger, more fit cyclist. But my primary goal with these workouts is in 20 minutes or less per workout, and there's 5 of them, I'm going to build your core strength, your muscular endurance, your recovery rate, your power, your flexibility, all the things that I as a personal trainer would be working with you with an hour, 2 hours at a time, I've condensed into 20-minute workouts that you can do with me anywhere around the world on your iPad, your iPhone, your computer, your TV. I will basically be your slave, personal trainer for the next 90 days. And over that 90 days, we're going to systemize those bundles of video workouts, which you get with the program, and we're going to systemize those with drills and techniques, advanced drills and techniques to revolutionize how you ride outside. So one of the biggest mistakes I see everyday cyclists make is not just the lack of core training or the lack of high intensity, but more importantly, they're going through the same old motions out on their local rides again and again and again. You ever gotten bored of the same old rides? Again, you're not fooling me. I've been riding for over 26 years. You don't think I get bored of my rides? Absolutely. What can we do? We can change those rides. We can revolutionize how we use the time within those rides to guarantee success, to guarantee a change in how we ride the bike, pedaling techniques, drills, muscular endurance tension chunks, things that I will teach you how to do in the videos and then ask you to go out there and duplicate them on the bike. Now imagine how powerful just those 3 combinations would be there with now every 6 hours within a week. 6 hours, I mean, that's nothing. That's an hour a day maximum. You're able to garner a continued improvement, watching that threshold value go up, watching the core strength go up, watching the cycling function go up, your endurance, your climbing strength, your power. It's a whole package together. So I leave no stone unturned. And for those of you that are wondering, hey, I'm an endurance cyclist, and I'm used to doing 10 or 12, or I don't have to worry about time, Graeme. I got 15 hours a week of training. Listen to me. I've got people that I've helped literally win Race Across America, Furnace Creek 508, some of the most grueling endurance events in the world on 6 hours of training per week, when they've had 20 or 25 hours years prior and done half as well as they've done with 6 hours. Now, that's not to gloat about my programs. That's just to represent to you that endurance training does not have to be about endless, long, slow base miles. In fact, I'm going to show you methods and easy things to do that are going to double your endurance, not only in half the time, but typically 1/4 of the time. When you go out for those longer rides, you and your friends and the people you ride with are going to be shocked at how much stronger you are using these very simple methods. Now look, I've packaged this all together for you. I've got it for immediate download. That means you can download all of the videos for Core 2.0, all of the HIT 30 sessions, and a free 90-day coaching plan designed by me, one that I've used with hundreds of thousands of cyclists just like you, step by step, protocol by protocol, tips, guidelines, intensities, which workout goes where. That way there's no questioning what you need to do to execute. Now, I'll share something with you. I've had people of all walks of cycling use this program, from beginner, intermediate, high-end racer, semi-pro, and pro, and do really well with it. I've had customers literally use less than half of what I've given them in the system. 50%, meaning that they kind of scratch out some of the other stuff like, I don't feel like doing that today, or I'm going to skip that one, but they do 50% of what I've asked them to do, and they're still getting 15% growth in fitness. So you could literally still get 15% growth in 3 hours of training per less. Now, I advise that you try to follow, at least for the first week or two, the full-fledged system, 6 hours per week. And again, I know for some of you it's going to seem like that's perfect, right in my slipstream for how much time I have available. For others, well, I could double that time. I'm going to encourage you. You don't need to double it. You just need to trust me and know that I'm not going to put you in a position to lose fitness. If you lose fitness or ride it the same, I don't benefit here. I'm only satisfied and my business only grows, my work to my customer only grows when you ride stronger. You are my finished product. So I put a lot of time and attention and value into how to make sure you get that result. I've got that package available for immediate download. You can put all the videos on your iPad, your iPhone, your Android. You can connect those to your TV and use them as a DVD player. You can play them from any computer. You can play them from your TV. If you have internet TV, you can do the same thing. The training plan comes for PDF, and you're ready to rock. Typically, if you wanted a training plan from me, and you wanted, let's see, it's 6 different HIT sessions. That's 3 hours of total training, plus another hour and a half, 2 hours of cyclo-core training. That's typically, by time, we're talking about a $500-$600 package that you would pay me for to give to you one-on-one. I'm going to give you the entire package, everything, soup to nuts, for $99. $99 for 90 days. So imagine $1 a day and a guaranteed at least 15% improvement in your cycling performance. So biggest question you have to ask yourself is really simple. Is riding 2 miles per hour faster in 3 months from now worth $100 to me? I want you to ask how much you've spent on your bike, how much a pair of tires costs, how much a new wheel set costs, how much a pair of socks costs, an outfit for your bike, and you tell me if 2 miles per hour faster or 15% growth in your cycling performance is worth $100. I already know that it is. In fact, it's worth 10 times that amount. I think when you try the Cyclo-90 system and you work with us, and again, I'm constantly updating my podcast, my website to make sure you're supported. You are in the golden arena and working with a select, exclusive, open-minded cyclists that are making breakthroughs every hour of the day now, as opposed to wasting their time. That's a pretty special thing. I look to learn more about you. You can order right now. You can download the system right now. You can start right now. I will talk to you soon. If you have any questions for me, please let me know. I'll do the best I can to get back to you. I really appreciate your time and listening. I look forward to learning about you and your results with Cyclo-90.